Our topic or our title that we chose today is Dancer, Winner, or Both. I think since actually it's our 10-year anniversary, 2007.
It is, well done.
1 decade ago we retired.
Retirement.
Oh my goodness, we're old. So since we retired a decade ago,
Oh yeah,
sounds terrible.
sounds old. It means we are old? Yeah.
Clearly, we spend much more time nowadays teaching around the world, and our faded memories of the glory that we had before is getting less and less. So today's lecture was inspired a little bit by our students, because many times I have this question, or we have this discussion with students, whether it's possible to be a great dancer, to be a winner, or to have a combination of both. Now for me, many people dance, but there's not that many dancers around. So I will just read my little sentence that I prepared because I chose the words carefully. For me, a dancer is someone who aims to acquire a coherent and plausible amalgamation of skills, including body movement, partnering, and musicality. The ultimate dancer for me also has to have the added bonus of being able to share and express believable personal emotions set to choreography, which draws the audience into their performance. Why I chose the word personal is because I believe that every dancer is able to do a beautiful rumba basic, but if we get all these dancers together doing the same rumba basic, our personal choices are what differentiates myself and Carmen from the other couples that we are competing against. For me, the most important function, I say the word function, of all of these skills is that we should be able to use these skills whilst we are performing or whilst we are competing. I think the problem that I see as a judge and as a teacher is when either gestures or emotions take the place of skill or take the place of the function. So many times when you're watching the rumba out there in Blackpool, you'll see the lady in a fan position expressing this emotional, dramatic story of her life, let's say, and doesn't manage to close her feet. Or in back basic, you'll see a lady doing back basic, and nowadays I see a lot of pole dancing. And what I mean by pole dancing is that the lady can hang out there having a fantastic time by herself, swinging and overbalancing and rotating and quite well done.
Yeah, not bad.
You practiced that, to be wrong.
You told me yesterday I was heavy, so I lightened up.
Okay, good. So ladies and gentlemen, for me, I don't mind. Of course, we want to have choreography which is overbalanced. But if this takes priority and is not functional as I mean, her job as my partner is to be able to replace her weight, come back to me, that is the use of a standing leg. So if the drama and the stuff, let's say, around this takes the place of a function, for me, this is when it doesn't become a dancer. Or let's say we lose some of these skills. So I'm into definitely being able to see the function and then the form that you choose as an individual or personal dancer that you want to style this particular choreography is definitely individual. Now
Right. Can I?
Please.
Finally, I've been biting my tongue.
I'm sure.
I know. So for me, of course, I agree with Brayan, what he says, and I'd like to add, for me, there is sort of, if I have to categorize, maybe 3 types of dancers. There are dancers, there are great dancers, and then there are exceptional dancers. And I think great dancers, I feel you have to have, dancers, you have to have a certain talent. A talent to coordinate your body to the music. That it looks natural, I don't want to say, because for everybody natural means something else.
Yep.
But that it, yes, but that it looks sort of in harmony with oneself and it doesn't look disturbing in all forms and it is musical. A great dancer is already for me a little bit where he has a more than above average talent. So for example, of course you will be an exceptional dancer, but...
You're too kind today, Carmen.
No, it's a
Too
10-year
kind.
anniversary, it's just this year.
That's my anniversary
Next year
present.
we're back to normal.
Oh, okay.
A great dancer, an exceptional talent, or more than above average talent. So for example, if I take Brayan as an example, his talent of rhythm in his body is more than above average. Would you agree? Yes. Would you remember? Do you want to show us?
No.
Go on, a little batucadas now. Little batucada. Oh, that's the senior version. Come on. Ooh, very good. Come on, let me see a little bit of batucadas here.
No.
Yes, why not? Because I have the microphone now. Oh, ooh, teasing us. I like that. Tease a bit more. Oh.
Separate?
Wow, did you see that? Very good, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So, of course, we all know the steps and we all can do the batucada somehow, but a great dancer has an above average talent of maybe one or multiple things. And an exceptional dancer, I believe, has even more than just that. He has elegance, or she has elegance, finesse, is true to herself.
Or himself.
Or himself, okay, I get it, or himself. I have to look at my notes here, is sincere in their emotions. I think that's an important part. If you're true to yourself, I think the emotions are not put on, they are sincere. And they are not put on through just an outer dramatic position or arm movement, they are felt throughout the body. Not only in the face as a visual expression, but actually through the movement in their body. And an exceptional dancer is able to touch the people, not only the knowledgeable audience, the professionals, but anybody on every level. People will understand because it's true, it's real to themselves. And I think that's an important part when you are a dancer, that you strive for that. So now I feel a little bit, it doesn't matter what you are in the end. I think it's important you know what you're good at and you know what you want to do. And I think all three categories for me in the end have to acquire skills, like Brayan said. Skills to further and improve their talent, their natural ability, their natural instinct to improve, to further, to strive more. And I also wrote a sentence down, not as elaborate as Mr. Watson, because my native tongue is not English, but something I thought was quite nice.
Are you doing okay?
I do okay, thank you. Years of training, yeah? For me, every dancer, it doesn't matter whatever you are, every dancer needs to dig in and down into the deep sea of knowledge and not only hover on the surface. And I feel a little bit, this is one thing I feel really passionate about. Nowadays it seems to be the hint of something. The hint maybe of understanding the knowledge of movement or basic action. The hint of partnering skills or the hint of being in the music. And I know we have more advanced things like we can be in, out, and above and under. To me, somehow, I'm not sure this is so clever, to me it is important that skills are acquired, and it doesn't matter what kind of dancer you are, you have to dig deep down. And it doesn't matter if you're a world champion or a beginner, the search or the thrive to learn more will never end. Because I believe the skills will set us free at the end. So this is for me what is a dancer, or what we should strive for as a dancer.
Strive for.
Say that again?
Strive.
Not thrive. What is thrive?
There's no words, right? Strive.
Oh, I see. I just made up a new word, strive.
In
Very
context
good.
for today.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And I just wanted to show you a little example of what I mean with that. For example, I know most couples nowadays, or in our days, we're always practicing the basic rumba, because it's sort of the king and the queen of the dance. Everybody thinks that's the ultimate, and everybody would rehearse and always practice a basic rumba. Now, we did that in all our dances, and we also did practice daily a basic jive. And I want to tell you a little story, because one year, I think competitively everybody is trying to do their best. And one year we danced actually the British, and a couple came running in the final, on the last jive, came running from across the floor all the way to the other short side to try to interfere with our performance. And they were sort of making gimmicks and trying to go between us. I think we were in a side-by-side something, and they were trying to go in between us. And then Brayan just grabbed my hand, and we just did for the next 20 seconds basic jive. Because we were not trying to entertain that kind of thing, and we were trying to win on dancing. And I think this is an important part, that because the skill of lead and follow is also in the basic. So all of these skills you need to train daily to implement the value, because in situations like, for example, what happened to us that year, this was a valuable asset we had to compete against the others. How are you feeling? You think you can do a little bit of basic jive?
With you, of
course.
Is
it a 10-year anniversary thing?
Yeah,
Yes, I know, it's the same as me. So we're going to show you a little bit of what we used to practice. Please look upon with a kind eye. It's a 10-year anniversary. Have that in mind. Track number 1, I believe. Yeah?
Wash your face and hands. Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands. Well, you get in that kitchen, make some noise with the pots and pans. Well, you wear those dresses, the sun comes shining through. Well, you wear those dresses, the sun comes shining through. I can't believe my all of this belongs to you. I believe to the soul you never let me down at all. I believe to the soul you never let me down at all.
That's about all I could manage right now. Whew. But I hope you could see a little bit. We don't have a routine. And actually, Brayan went through how can we say that? A painful experience, years of practicing jive, because we had rules, of course. You are German too, no? Being German. And the rules were, we practice everything with lead and follow. So if he wasn't leading it right, I ain't going there. So it's not about learning a programmed position or program as per se, excuse me, but actually learning a skill. So for instance, just to enlighten you a little bit, yeah, time is running, I know, just a quick moment. If he wouldn't be leading a back rock, I wouldn't dance a back rock. So for instance, we would do a chassé or a chassé 1, and if he doesn't lead a back rock, I would close my feet. Oh, nice. Very good. Very good. You understand the concept? So there's rules in that too. So we were training each other to be better partners for each other. So I've been moved along. Would you take over then, please? I'd love to.
Hello, I'm back. Good. So you have a little idea what we think about being a dancer. Or quite a long explanation. So ladies and gentlemen, what is a winner? Basically, a winner is the person who gets the majority of first places out of 11 judges. Yeah, because they win the competition, right? So it's not about, for me personally, like I said, if you want to have a moment, a meaning of life moment on the dance floor, that's great. But in competition dancing, we are compared to other couples on the floor. So in general, your product has to be understandable, has to be readable, and it has to be convincing enough that 6 people out of these 11 will mark you first. For me personally, a winner is the couple that can maintain, foremost, the function, like I said, and secondly, the form and the combination of these two for approximately 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Because when I've had the privilege of judging a final, the first 20 seconds, every couple looks fantastic. So as a judge, I'm like, oh, they all look good. Oh my goodness. After 20 seconds, they still look good. After 30 seconds, one down. Don't panic, Brayan. Just relax, just relax. 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 2 down. 50 seconds, whoa, 1 minute. Oh, I have a winner. Very good. So in the end, couples, you are basically determining your own result by, number 1, keeping the function, and number 2, applying the correct form to this and maintaining it throughout the dance so that whoever is watching, be it the public, be it the adjudicators, we can all understand your product. So this is the winner. Carmen?
Yes,
Short,
I would like to add to
but
that
sweet.
also. Sorry?
Short but sweet.
Yeah, I try. A winner to me is, or sometimes we talk about a killer instinct or a winner instinct, and I think that is something you have as an instinct, and not everybody is born with it. And an instinct like this is sometimes to, or not sometimes, to work under stress situation and understand, to see clear, to assess the situation in this moment in time, and to go for it. And a winner instinct is also that they, no matter what, they will get it done. Whatever they need to do, they will do it. So often people are very shy. That's a difficult part. No? So, a winner for me is also somebody who has courage. I think courage to be able to step over your shadow, to be able to go that extra little step further than what other people might do. And a brain. Now you might think that is simple, because everybody has a brain, but it would be nice if everybody would use their brain, right? Because I know you have been here every year and you have witnessed fantastic dancers, wonderful dancers, maybe the best dancers, but they never actually won. And vice versa, you have witnessed winners who you might have thought maybe are not the best dancers on the floor, but they're still the winners. So the lesson to be learned in that is to use the brain. No matter whether you would like to be the winner or not, you have to assess of what you have and make that better. You can learn skills to overcome shyness or anything like this, or use the brain to understand what you need. And this is an important part. You need to know, what do you need? What have I got and what do I need to become a winner? And for me, these two things, if you amalgamate them together, they form a complete dancer for me. So I talked before about a dancer, a great dancer, an exceptional dancer, and a complete dancer. And I think when you enter competitive dancing, we strive to have a balance of it all, to have the best of both worlds, and to become a complete dancer. And I think a complete dancer masters all of these things to their best of abilities, and for what they cannot acquire themselves, they learn skills to better themselves.
Correct.
Correct.
I agree with you.
That's great. That's 10th
First
anniversary, yeah? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best compliment I ever got as a dancer was from the late Bobby Irvine. And after watching one competition, she said that she really loved the way that I used my feet inside the shoes. But don't you think that's beautiful? I'm killing myself to do the bachata like before, shaking everything, and one person can appreciate how I was using my feet inside the shoes. I think this was a great compliment for me, and especially coming from such a great person. But this, how can I say, this, as a dancer, this is what you strive to do. Strive to do.
Strive to do.
Yeah, not thrive.
Very good.
This is as a dancer what we
Strive
strive to do.
Learn, everybody strive to do. It's an English lesson as well, included.
Even though we're in the German bloc.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Strive.
Very good.
Yeah, see?
So this is as a dancer what we strive to do. Carmen and I, we strived to be the best possible dancers that we could. Luckily, the history books show that we were winners. But in order to be winners, I think you also need, or like I said before, personal choices. So if Carmen would like to conclude, and then I'll talk about a little bit of personal choices after
Ooh,
that.
okay. Because I have one more. I think because my mind is very analytical, I have everything sort of in boxes and sorted out. Because there's one word we have not talked about yet, which is a champion. And I think there is dancers, there are winners, there are both, and I think there are champions. And a champion is not only a winner. I believe a champion is something not only judged by what they won on that day of winning, but what they leave behind for many years after. How they touched you, how they changed something in your view or in your dancing, of how they pushed maybe the envelope further, how they inspired you. And that's why we often talk about the greats, the legends. We talk about them more than just the winners. We don't talk about every winner there was. We talk about the Walter Laird, Bill and Bobby Irvine, the greats, the legends of dance, because they left something behind which will outlive us all and sustain the time of, what do you call that English phrase? I can't. The time of... No,
Forever.
no, that.
Forever.
Oh, forever. Okay, say forever. The test of time, I think that's what I meant to say, right?
Testament of time.
Yes. And I think that is something which is a champion in the end of the day. And I think we all would like to be champion, but it's only in decades and years to come to see if the winner also was a champion. And that's the conclusion of our lecture today, except of your personal choices coming. But I hope you enjoyed it very much, and thank you very much once again for inviting us to a lecture for you today.
For the third consecutive.
For the third consecutive time. We're very pleased for that. Or is it because nobody else says yes? Thank you very much.
So ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, we practiced a lot, basics, practiced a lot about partnering skills, which actually gave us a lot of freedom. So to end this lecture, I'd like to enjoy myself a little bit, challenge myself a little bit, and see how many choices I can make in a simple sugar push. You all know the sugar push, yes? If not, Sam Sedano afterwards will teach you the sugar push, straight from America, I'm sure. Basic version is, Carmen, my dear, lovely partner.
Yes.
Basic version of a sugar push goes, that's it. So ladies and gentlemen, I will try, without further ado, to play around with the sugar push. Thank you very much.